Governor, Texas has taken a sort of different tack to enforcement than you have. They've sent out their alcohol and tobacco control arm and essentially shut businesses down if they find they are violating the rules. I'm wondering if you think what we're doing here, which is you haven't issued any penalties, it's more of a warning system. If you think that's working, and why not just go out there? If don't they know the rules at this point? Why not suspend their license for 30 days?
Well, I just announced we're closing every bar.
Yeah, well,
I don't know how to be more categorical than that. But secondly,
especially with the mask mandate too, I guess I'm curious because this is another enforcement mechanism. So, and you said you're going to work on gaining compliance. I guess why not be stricter when it comes to enforcing this stuff?
Well, what I can tell you is, and I didn't get an update today on what the number is. The last time I got an update, we had visited more than 3,100 commercial establishments. That was restaurants, bars, and retail all together. And that's Office of Public Health and primarily the State Fire Marshal's Office. What I can tell you is that the vast majority of those were not out of compliance, that those that were, the vast majority very quickly got into compliance because it was something relatively simple like, in almost every instance, the employees know they have to have a mask because they got one around their neck. They're just not wearing it. And when you go in and you tell them to wear it, they put it on. And so what we're trying very hard to do is make sure that we're going in because we're doing compliance checks or because we're responding to a complaint. And y'all might be surprised at the number of individuals who will either leave or choose not to go into a commercial establishment because they don't believe that the individuals are wearing masks. And then they will call the fire marshal's office, make a complaint. We go out there, and very, very quickly that individual puts the mask back on. And typically it's an employee who, for some momentary lapse, they take it off, they don't put it back on, and for whatever reason, there's not a close enough supervision to get that mask back on them very quickly. But we're going out there and we're working with those individuals. Now, I have instructed our fire marshal's office that on repeat visits to the same establishments for the same problems, to start issuing citations. So I do believe you're going to see that going forward. But I'm going to repeat something here, and I hesitate to do it, but I'm going to do it anyway. I've said from the very beginning, a public health emergency of this nature, if the people of Louisiana are going to insist that we enforce our way through it, we're not going to be successful. And we're going to continue to have people unnecessarily spreading this disease. And then other people who, through no fault of their own, because they might be wearing a mask, they might be the most responsible citizen out there, but they will contract it because someone in their close vicinity chose not to be a good neighbor. And then those individuals are going to go to the hospital and fill that bed and cause all the problems for our hospital systems and our medical providers, and not just to the COVID community, but to anybody who needs a medical service. And if the people of Louisiana are going to say, well, we're just not going to listen to any of that, and we're going to make them enforce our way through it, well, we're going to be unsuccessful. But you know what? I believe in Louisiana. We're better than that. Our people have always been good and resilient. We're a faithful people. We know what it means to be a good neighbor, and now it is important to be a good neighbor. And if you don't like the mask mandate, then don't like it. But wear your mask anyway if you're going to be out in public. If you want to criticize me, criticize me. This isn't an easy thing to do. It's hard. And I understand it's going to be controversial. And I know that because we've already seen some wild and crazy things being said about masks and mask mandates. So be it. It's the right thing to do. It's the essential thing to do. But don't sit back and say, we're only going to be successful if you enforce our way through this. That is just the wrong attitude.